Okay, class, this is the lesson on substitution involving systems of equation. Now, take the sheet, that 3-dash sheet that you're working on, which looks like this, and just go ahead and flip it over to the back. Flip it over to the back so we can take a couple of notes first. So we're going to work this problem, and it's actually the problem on the other side of your paper. And what I want to do here is I want to give you steps so you know exactly what to do step by step. So the first thing you need to do is to figure out which equation it'll be easier to solve for a variable. And looking at the first equation, I can use that one, but I have a negative. So it'll be a lot easier to solve the second equation for x, correct? So we're going to talk about steps. Step 1, you're going to solve for a variable. Solve either equation for a variable. Solve for a variable. Okay, so first thing I want to do is take that equation, which is x plus 3 equals 6, and I want to get x by itself. I forgot my y there, guys. I'm sure y'all say, Miss B, where's your y? There you go. So I want to get x by itself. So I'm going to have x equals negative 3y plus 6. That's step 1. So now we're going to move on to step 2. Step 2 is plug that value that you just got into, see, I'm trying to print now, other equation. So we're going to go get the other equation that we did not use, which is 2x minus y equals 9. And I'm going to plug this value in for x. So where I have my x, I'm going to put parentheses because I'm going to plug that value in, correct? And that value is negative 3y plus 6. So then when I distribute that, that's going to give me negative 6y plus 12 minus y equals 9. I'm just going to continue that problem right here. So when I combine my like terms, negative 6y minus y is negative 7y plus 12 equals 9, correct? So now I still want to get y by itself. I take 12 to the other side. I get negative 7y equals 21. Divide both sides by negative 7. And I get y equals negative 3. So now I have my y. Take a moment, write that down, and we're going to go to step 3. Pause here if you don't have all this, because we're going to move on to step 3 now. Okay, so step 3 is because we already know, just to reiterate what we did, we said y, we got negative 3, correct? So now we're on step 3 now. So step 3 is to plug value, and when I say value, I'm talking about the value we just got. In our case, it's going to be negative 3. Plug value into the first equation that we used. The first equation that we used, which was x plus 3y. Okay, so now we're going to do that. Oh, let me go ahead and put and solve so you know what you're doing. And solve. So we're going to take x plus 3y equals negative 6. And we're going to substitute that value of y, right? So I have x plus 3. I'm going to put parentheses where my y is so I can substitute that value. In this case, it's negative 3. That gives me x minus 9 equals negative 6. Equals negative 6. So when I take my 9 over, I get x equals 3. So my solution would be 3, which is my x, and negative 3, which is my y. Any questions over that? Save them for tomorrow. Okay, I want you to play that back again to understand what you did. because I really want you to understand that. And then what I want you to do is go ahead and turn your paper over. Let's look at it. Now let's look at number 1 here. Okay, and looking at number 1, which equation will it be easier to solve for a variable first? Which equation will it be easier? Okay, correct. It would be number 1. I would use number 1 because number 1 already has a variable by itself, correct? That would just be one step, just moving 3x over. Whereas if I use the other one, I'd have 2 steps because I'd have to move something over and then divide by either the 4 or the 2. So I know I would get here y equals negative 3x plus 7. And that's what I'm going to plug into the next equation. So what I want you to do now is look at each one of these and denote which equation you would use to solve for. That's all I want you to do. We'll work on working these together. For instance, I know I would use that equation. I know I would use that equation. So go ahead and mark all the other ones, and that's what we're going to pick up. Remember, I will not be in class tomorrow. I will be at a funeral. You will have a worksheet that continues the work you did in class today on solving systems of equations using graphing. So you are to complete that in class and turn that in. When I get here on Friday, we will pick up right where we left off. Y'all are doing awesome. I'm really proud of y'all with systems. Have a good evening, Miss B. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.